What is going on, guys? I'm SceptileMC here, George, the coach for your San Francisco Arcaniners, here to bring you my GBA Season 7 Week 3 team builder against the Pittsburgh Pirattatas. Or Tup. Old Man Tup. I've never actually played Old Man Tup before. He eluded our matchups in Season 5 and in Season 6. We were kind of unhappy about that, but we finally get to play him in Season 7. So without further ado, let me get into what his team is. So his team is the Tapu Koko, the Scizor, the Hydreigon, the Tangrowth, the Slowking, the Nidoking, the Hitmontop, the Chandelure, the Blissey, the Cryogonal, and the Minior. Now, the threats on his side, of course, are the Tapu Koko. Pokemon just literally clicks T-Bolt versus my entire team, and if I go into Garchomp, he clicks Dazzling Gleam or HPA, so that's nice. He has the Scizor as well, which can be threatening if it's like a... Honestly, an agility set would be kind of threatening, but if he's like an SD as well and he's able to weaken my Raikou a bit, then that could also be a problem because I don't have a fire move on my Garchomp. Hydreigon, if it's Choice Scarf, can kind of be a problem. The same thing with the Chandelure, if it's Choice Scarf. If not, I outspeed with my Garchomp on the Chandelure, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think I outspeed Chandelure with this. Nidoking, it's just always a problem. I don't really have many switch-ins to it. And then the Minior can sweep late game if it so pleases to, or in the mid game. Basically, my Garchomp is my wall to Minior with Dragon Tail, so I gotta Dragon Tail that thing out and keep the Stealth Rocks. But what am I bringing? So, defensive Tank Chomp with enough speed, I believe, for the Chandelure, I want to say. Got the Dragon Tail, the Stealth Rocks, the Toxic, and the Earthquake. The Dragon Tail is for the things like if the Scizor comes in, tries to SD, the Slowking tries to Calm Mind and wants to keep Calm Minding. If the Tangrowth comes in and I Toxic it, and then I can just go for the Dragon Tails. Yep, and it's basically just if he wants to go out into something like Tangrowth and I have up my rocks, I can just Dragon Tail him out and continuously get that initiative. So that's pretty much that behind this Pokemon. It kind of walls the Scizor. It completely walls the Hitmontop, and then the Minior is what the main thing is. This has to deal with is. After that, we got Captain. We got Offensive Mew. Yes, guys, I did say I'd bring Offensive Mew, so that is what I'm going to do. We got the Colbur Berry, the Synchronize, the Swords Dance, the Leech Life, the Fire Punch, and the Earthquake. No Stab this week. The reason I am running Earthquake is so that even if I don't have up a Swords Dance, I can still do a lot of damage to things like the Chandelure, and I can hit the Tapu Koko for super effective, as well as I can hit the Nidoking still for super effective, even if I don't have the Zen Headbutt. I can Swords Dance up on anything. I got the Colbur Berry. EVs are a little strange, I know, but I have a lot of special defense EVs just so I can better take the T-Bolt from Tapu Koko, as well as I can better take a Shadow Ball from the Chandelure if it's Scarfed, and the Hydreigon can go for a Dark Pulse and only do like 35% to me, and I can Leech Life and get all my health back. So Leech Life after the SD basically kills everything. The only things it doesn't hit is the Tapu, the Scizor, the Nidoking, the Hitmontop, and the Minior. I don't really have anything to hit the Minior on this thing. Kind of unfortunate, I know, but maybe should have run Zen Headbutt. I don't know. Hindsight comments. Next up, I do have the Raikou here, so I needed a Sulfest Mons, and I did decide to run max speed. The reason I am running max speed is because if he's a modest Tapu Koko, he can't actually outspeed me if I'm a max speed and I'm timid. Sorry. So this is my wall to top right here. I have the Volt Switch, the T-Bolt, the Extra Sensory, and the Signal Beam. Pretty much gets like super effective against everything. Alright guys, sorry about that. My roommates did in fact come in, so if you do hear TV in the background, I'm sorry. They are watching The Office right now, so if you hear that, you'll get a few laughs out of that because I'm not a funny person. But anyway, I think I was going over Raikou before I paused it. Raikou pretty much gets initiative against everything except for the Nidoking, which I have Extra Sensory for, and the Signal Beam is stronger than the HP Ice with things like the Tangrowth, and it's the Slowking and the Hydreigon. So pretty much that's set there. Next up, we got AV Suicune right here. AV Suicune does a lot against this team, actually. I have the Surf, the Ice Beam, the Mirror Coat, and the Hydro Pump. With the Surf, I can actually OHKO Minior. I hit Tapu Koko for a lot of damage. I can hit the Nidoking and OHKO it, the Chandelure and OHKO it. Ice Beam, pretty obvious is for the Hydreigon, the Tangrowth. Can hit the Nidoking as well, and yeah, that's pretty much for Ice Beam, to be honest. But I do have the Mirror Coat here, so if he goes into Tapu and I go into Suicune against it, and he goes for T-Bolt, I can Mirror Coat and take it out in one hit. If he Volt Switches, I can take out whatever he goes into it in one hit, except if it's Blissey. And then Hydro Pump is just in case I need to get massive amounts of damage against something and try to KO it. And this thing takes like 25% from like a Shadow Ball off a Chandelure. It's like crazy, and like maybe 35% from a Draco Meteor from a Hydreigon. So this Pokemon was really crazy in this match in an Assault Fest setting. Next up, I got a Mienshao right here, the Choice Scarf Mienshao. Pretty standard set. I have max speed and Jolly because it speed ties the Cryogonal. If he wants to run a Scarfed Cryogonal for some very strange reason, I guess that outspeeds like maybe Scarf Garchomp. He thinks I'll bring it. Got the Choice Scarf and the Reckless, so I can just fire off high jump kicks. And the high jump kick will do about 60% to the Tapu Koko, as well as like 40% to the Nidoking. He really doesn't have a switch in if he doesn't bring the Chandelure, because the Slowking is more specially defensive. Alright, I have the high jump kick can do about maybe 50% to Hitmontop, even after -1, I think. Maybe 40% after -1, depending on his spread. Tangrowth, I believe, gets not to a KO, but close to it if it's specially or if it's physically defensive. The Scizor can't take it. The Tapu nothing can take a Scarf High Jump Kick off this thing in the Reckless. I obviously have the U-turn, so I can get the initiative if he wants to have like the Chandelure, or if he wants to go into something like if it's a physically a defensive Tangrowth. I'm not going to stay in and keep and just keep going for the jump kick. So if I stout for that and go for U-turn, I can figure that out. Knock off obviously for coverage against the Chandelure and the Slowking, and then the Poison Jab is obviously for Tapu Koko and possibly the Tangrowth as well. Alright guys, and with the next set, we are going to be going through the crown jewel of this team, and it is Fist God. And you guys are probably thinking, it's Registeel. What can you do with Registeel? Boom! 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 GG. It's over. Fist God, gonna be throwing some faves, and we're gonna be winning with it. I have the Life Orb to increase my attacking power from base like 75 to about base 90, maybe something like that. Actually, it's more than that. It's like base 100 now, pretty much with that. But the Rock Polish, I can outspeed Choice Scarf Chandelure with the Rock Polish if he's not Jolly. I think. I'm not positive about that, but I think. Or maybe I can outspeed Jolly Chandelure as well. I don't know. I completely forget what it was, but it's something around those lines. Earthquake hits the Tapu. Can hit the Nidoking, the Chandelure. That's pretty much it. I got the HP Fire mainly for the Scizor, but it can be used against the Tangrowth as well if it's more of a physically defensive set. And then I do have the Superpower as well. The Superpower is mainly to hit stuff like the Chandelure, not the Chandelure, the Blissey, and the Hydreigon. So if we are actually able to pull off a Registeel sweep late game, I don't have Stab. But this set is very, very good against this man's team. So yeah, the Superpower can also hit the Cryogonal, guys, and that's pretty much where I'm going to end the video. I do apologize for the pauses everywhere. It's probably a little choppy because I'll try to edit some of them down a little bit so it's not as choppy. I don't know. But I do live in a dorm room with 4 other people, so there are 5 of us here. I do hear noises outside, so I'm just trying my best with what I got dealt right now. So anyways guys, it's gonna be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, really appreciate it. Comment, like, rate, or subscribe. I'm SceptileMC or George, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.